Hey guys, Magnus Robert here, bringing you another Walking Dead Lone Survivor character profile video. Today's episode is on Leslie William Starton, a solitude survivor who lived on a houseboat, first seen in Season 7. Leslie is of course male, he is played by a prop. He's likely somewhere between his 40s and 60s, and first appeared in Hearts Still Beating. Before the outbreak, Leslie lived on a houseboat, likely living by himself. As Leslie was a gun enthusiast, he began to collect several antique handguns and rifles. When the outbreak began, Leslie stayed on his houseboat with a supply of weapons and his food. He created a few signs, the first to the gate leading to the lake where his houseboat was, it reading, "Keep going, only thing here for you is trouble." Further down the path and closer to the lake, he made another sign. This one was a big one, and it read, "My name is Leslie William Starton, and I am armed with a Ruger 10-22. Crack shot, I can hit targets, 70 yards plus. AR-15s, AK-47s, grenades, in brackets, try me, and several handguns and rifles of antiquity, collector/enthusiast. You are not smart to have not listened to the first sign. You will not survive, and my conscience will be clear because you have been warned. I will not hesitate to protect my home, my food, my supplies, my ammo. Congratulations. The only way you have possibly read this without being shot is I am dead. Have at it, assholes." He made one last note in one of the crates of his supplies. It looked like this, a middle finger reading, "Congrats for winning, but you still lose." I'm pretty sure this sign was in reference to the fact that he was out of ammo, but I'm unsure exactly what he means by it. Now, throughout the months of the outbreak, many raiders attempted to steal Leslie's stuff, ignoring the signs, and I'm just in the wiki here, but Leslie killed a total of 84 unnamed attackers. After killing them, these attackers occupied the lake, reanimated, and helped to further protect his home. One of these raiders came with a truck of some sort. There was another who came with a rowboat that was used and was shot up by Leslie. And another, this woman here, at least her, maybe some others, came in a canoe with some supplies of their own, it seems. She was killed and left to reanimate within the canoe. One attacker actually seemed to have made it to the ladder too, but was killed whilst climbing it. Their leg is like twisted into the ladder and they reanimated and were stuck there. However, Leslie eventually ran out of ammo and was shot in the head defending his boat. Now, seeing as his supplies were all still present, I don't think the attacker that killed him made it to the houseboat themselves. However, we do know that the scavengers, aka Jadis's people, were staking out the houseboat for a long time, waiting for someone else to take the risk to gain the supplies. So it's possible that one of the scavengers simply shot and killed Leslie, possibly taking him by surprise and waiting for him to put his guard down so they can take him out, and then they simply just waited for someone to come and rob the boat. Either way, Leslie was shot and killed by someone. In Season 7, Rick and Aaron come across Leslie's signs, and then they find his houseboat out on the water. They take the bullet-riddled rowboat to get to the canoe, breaking his sign and using the wood as oars. That's very mean. Don't destroy Leslie's sign. Aaron has a close call, but then both men make it to the houseboat where Aaron and Rick slump next to the corpse of Leslie. Rick's actually on top of Leslie William Starton. Very rude, Rick. They then raid Leslie's home, stealing his supplies and his weapons, but note he has no ammo. They also of course find his little "fuck you" note. They dock his boat onto the bank and load all of his stuff into their truck and leave poor Leslie's body there to rot on his houseboat. R.I.P. Leslie William Starton. Karma's a bitch though, because Leslie's note ends up getting Aaron in trouble with the saviors and he gets beaten up, okay? That was for treating Leslie's houseboat and corpse and not burying him, like the justice for Leslie. Leslie was just some classic environmental storytelling. But let's be real, this dude was a menace, an absolute weapon. He took out so many attackers who tried their luck and ignored his signs. But to be honest, may have been unwise to advertise yourself though, egging people on to attack. Either way, Leslie couldn't defend his houseboat forever, and he finally met his maker. The lesson of the story is make sure to not be a lone survivor and have some mates. Oh, and also maybe move away from your little abode on the water. Anyway, hope you enjoyed Leslie William Starton. Stay tuned next week for another Walking Dead Lone Survivor video. Goodbye.